My beloved misfits, rebels, and beautifully fractured souls. Yes, you, the misunderstood, the underestimated, the ones they swore would disappear into obscurity. Today, that obscurity kneels at your command. Oh, you felt it, haven't you? That relentless, gnawing ache deep in your chest, the feeling that you don't belong. You glance at the world they've meticulously constructed, and something primal within you screams, this isn't right. The weight of their conformity presses down on you like iron shackles, suffocating your spirit, demanding you shrink, obey, comply. But let me tell you something powerful, something they don't want you to know. You weren't created to blend in. You weren't made to smile politely, punch a clock, and sleepwalk through the sterile monotony of their soul, draining machinery. No, you were forged to break it. They call you a failure, a reject, a lost cause, trying to convince you that your jagged edges are flaws to be smoothed out, erased, forgotten. But those sharp edges, they're your weapons. They're the tools meant to rip through the bars of the prison they've built around you. You, my wild architects of rebellion, were born to dismantle the lies they've fed you. They said, follow our rules and you'll find happiness, but whose rules? They're rules crafted to keep you docile, small, and predictable. These rules are chains disguised as guidelines made to extinguish your fire because they fear what you might do if you truly woke up. And here's the truth, they're desperate to bury you were made for chaos. Not the reckless, destructive kind they dread, but the transformative chaos that crumbles illusions and lays bare the rotting foundation of their so-called system. This system isn't broken, it's functioning exactly as intended, crushing individuality, stifling free thought, and rewarding obedience. But you terrify them because you see through the charade. You feel the cracks beneath their polished veneer, hear the whispers of hypocrisy, and witness the towering lies casting shadows over us all. They tell you to be grateful for the scraps they toss your way. But you are the storm that will tear apart their fragile house of cards. Let me warn you, though, this path is not for the faint-hearted. Breaking the system will demand your blood, sweat, and sanity. They'll label you a villain, a destroyer. And perhaps in your darkest moments you might start to believe them. But remember this, heroes follow the rules. Villains rewrite them. And oh, the beauty of rewriting. To watch their fragile structures collapse under the weight of their own corruption. To see the terror in their eyes when they realize you've stopped playing their game. So rise, my beautifully defiant warriors. Let them tremble at the sound of your footsteps, feel the power of your voice. You were not meant to follow, you were born to lead. You were not meant to conform, you were born to stand out. And you were certainly not meant to accept their lies, you were born to obliterate them. When the dust settles and their system lies in ruins, they'll look at you bruised, battered, but unbroken, and they'll finally understand. You weren't a mistake. You weren't a mistake. You were their reckoning. So go on, shatter their illusions. Break their rules with every ounce of defiance in your being. And when they demand to know who gave you the right, look them dead in the eye and declare, I was born for this. They'll try to extinguish your fire. First, they'll ignore you, hoping you'll fade into silence. When that fails, they'll mock you, twist your words, and try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. And when all else fails, they'll resort to fear, threats, suppression, and attempts to crush you under the weight of their power. But here's the irony, the power they wield no longer belongs to them. It belongs to you. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet, rebellious spark in your chest. The voice whispering, this isn't all there is. That voice is truth clawing its way back to the surface, a truth they've tried to bury under layers of conformity and fear. But truth is relentless. And once it rises, it's unstoppable. Let me tell you their secret, the system isn't as indestructible as it seems. It's fragile, propped up by exploitation and fear, dependent on the obedience of those who've been fooled into thinking they're powerless. But you see the cracks. You've spotted the flaws. And once you've seen them, you can never unsee them. They'll tell you that you're too small to make a difference. That one voice can't change the world. But history begs to differ. It's filled with names of those who refused to stay silent, who stood defiantly and shouted no more. They weren't chosen by fate, they were like you, angry, weary, but driven by the vision of something greater. And here's the truth they fear the most, you're not alone. Look around. See the fire in the eyes of others who've gathered by your side. Feel the power of unity, the unbreakable bond of shared defiance. Together, you're an unstoppable force. So don't let them divide you. Don't let them silence you. Use your voice, your mind, your heart, and your hands to dismantle every wall they've built to cage us. Turn their weapons against them, their lies into truth, their fear into strength, their hate into an unstoppable force. And when they ask why you fight, why you resist, you tell them, because we are the ones you tried to break, and now we are the ones breaking you. This isn't just rebellion. It's revolution. It's about tearing down what was never meant to sustain us and building something extraordinary in its place. Something fueled by unity, compassion, and unyielding strength. You are the architects of this new world. Every step you take, every rule you shatter, brings us closer to it. So rise, my warriors of transformation. The system may have shaped you, but it will never define you. You were born to break it. And when the ashes settle, you'll stand radiant, triumphant, and unbroken. You'll look at the world you've created and finally know you weren't just born to destroy, you were born to rebuild. Now go. Burn your name into history and make them remember who you are. But wait, don't stop here. This is only the beginning. The fire within you isn't meant to flicker out after one battle. No, it's meant to rage, to grow, to consume every barrier they place in your path. They'll tell you it's over, that you've done enough, that your fight is futile. Don't listen. This isn't the time to pause, it's the time to rise even higher. You've rattled their foundations, but now you must tear them down completely. Brick by brick, lie by lie, you must dismantle the illusion they've carefully crafted. They'll grow desperate, they'll offer you comfort, promise you peace, if only you relent. But peace without freedom is nothing but a gilded cage. Will you accept their scraps, or will you seize what's rightfully yours? You are more than they ever accounted for. You're the storm they didn't see coming. And storms don't ask for permission to rage. So take their fear, their doubt, their attempts to bind you and turn it into fuel. With every step forward, let your defiance roar louder. With every breath, remind yourself you are unstoppable. They've underestimated you because they cannot comprehend the depth of your strength. They don't understand what it's like to stand at the edge of despair and choose to rise anyway. They don't know what it means to face defeat and refuse to bow. You are not just defying them, you're rewriting the narrative for every soul they tried to break before you. Do you feel it? That surge in your chest, that's your power. It's not borrowed. It's not given. It's yours, forged in the fires of your struggle. And now it's time to wield it. Let the world hear your roar. Let them feel the ground shake beneath the weight of your determination. You are not here to ask. You are here to take. And when they beg for mercy, when they plead for your rebellion to end, let them see your resolve. Look them in the eye and say, you thought I was fragile. You thought I'd crumble. But now you see I am unbreakable. Let your actions echo through the generations, a call to every soul who's been told to stay quiet, to stay small. Show them that change isn't born from silence. It's born from those who dare to demand more. The old world fears you because it knows its time is up. The system that once seemed untouchable now quakes under the weight of your resistance. And as it crumbles, you'll rise higher, unbound and limitless. So go further, push harder, burn brighter. You were born to ignite a revolution, and revolutions don't stop until every chain is broken, every lie is exposed, and every soul stands free. This is your moment, claim it. Rewrite history with every step you take, every word you speak, every fire you light. You are not just fighting to break the system, you're fighting to inspire a world that no one dared to dream of before you. Now go. Let your fire consume the darkness, soonness. Let your voice be the anthem of change. Let your courage echo through eternity. You are not just a rebel, you are the revolution. And this world will never be the same again. The time has come to transcend even your own expectations. You've shaken the pillars of their empire, but now you must rebuild the world they tried to bury. This is where true strength is tested, not in destruction alone, but in creation. The ashes beneath your feet are not the end, they're the fertile ground for something extraordinary. Picture it, a world where voices are no longer silenced, where dreams are no longer caged. You don't just dismantle oppression, you ignite hope. You don't simply tear down walls, you build bridges that unite those who once stood divided. This is your purpose, not just to defy the system, but to create something so unyielding, so radiant, that even the shadows dare not approach. They'll watch in disbelief as you rise higher, standing atop the ruins of their lies with unshakable resolve. Let them see the fire in your eyes, the clarity in your vision, the undeniable truth that you were never here to settle for less. Every choice you make, every step you take, becomes a blueprint for those who come after you. You are not just fighting for yourself, you are laying the foundation for a legacy. And here's the truth they fear most: you're not alone. The fire you've ignited spreads, lighting up hearts that were once too afraid to hope. Look around, feel the energy, hear the voices joining yours, rising in unison, a tidal wave of rebellion and creation. Together you are unstoppable. Together you will redefine what it means to live freely. Again, they'll try one last time to silence you, to make you believe your fight has reached its limit. But limits are illusions, boundaries created to keep you in check. Break them. Crush them beneath the weight of your resolve. When they say you've gone too far, smile and keep going. When they say you'll never win, let your actions prove them wrong. You are the warrior they couldn't predict, the storm they couldn't prepare for, the architect of a future they can't control. You are relentless, tireless, unyielding. And as their world crumbles, yours begins to rise stronger, brighter, limitless. So keep moving, keep fighting, keep creating. Your journey doesn't end here, it expands, reaching heights they could never imagine. The world doesn't just need rebels, it needs leaders, visionaries, creators. And that's exactly who you are. Go on, fearless soul. Let them remember not just your defiance, but your power to build what they never could. You are not the end of their system, you are the beginning of something greater. Let the echoes of your courage resound through the ages, a reminder that when the broken rise, they don't just survive, they transform the world. This is your time. This is your revolution. And you, unstoppable, unbreakable, unrelenting, you are the spark that will set the future ablaze. Go forth and make them remember, not for what they tried to do to you, but for what you did to change everything. And when the dust has finally settled, and the echoes of your battle cries fade into the distance, the question remains, what will you do next? This moment, this victory is not where it ends. No, this is where it begins. You've shattered the chains they swore would hold you forever, but freedom isn't a destination. It's a constant revolution. The world will watch you now, wondering what comes after the storm. They'll hope you rest, that you stop, that the fire within you dies down. But that fire is eternal, it doesn't fade, it transforms. It's not enough to break the old. You must breathe life into the new. They underestimated your strength before now. They'll underestimate your vision. Prove them wrong. Every corner of this world is crying out for change. The cracks in their foundation have revealed the truth: system was never built to last. You've exposed it for what it is, a relic of control, fear, and submission. Now it's your turn to create. Build something they can't destroy. Forge a world where everyone stands tall, unbroken, unafraid to be who they are. But know this, they will come for you again. They'll return with new tactics, fresh weapons, and sharper lies. They'll whisper, "You can't do this. You don't have what it takes," laugh in their faces. They've thrown everything they had at you, and you're still here. Stronger, wiser, unstoppable. The power they fear doesn't lie in your fists or your words, it's in your heart. It's the relentless, unyielding belief that you deserve more, that everyone deserves more. It's the courage to stand up, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's the audacity to dream, even when the world says, stay in your place. So dream bigger, push further, burn brighter. You've shown them what happens when they try to break someone born to rise. Now, show them what happens when you decide to soar. Let your fire spread like a beacon, igniting hope in those who've forgotten what it feels like to fight. And as they watch you ascend, let them realize the truth they've tried so hard to deny: they can't stop you. They never could. You are the proof that resilience cannot be crushed, that passion cannot be silenced, that a single soul can light a revolution that changes everything. Go now, warrior of change. The world awaits your next move. Take every lesson, every scar, every moment of defiance, and turn it into fuel. Build something that cannot be torn down. Lead with fire in your heart and steel in your spirit. Let your name become a legend, whispered with reverence by those who follow in your footsteps. This isn't the end of your story, it's the opening act of a legacy. You were not just born to fight. You were born to conquer, to create, to inspire. The future belongs to you. Now go, and carve it into something they'll never forget. But even now, the battle isn't truly over. The fire within you doesn't dim, it grows. Every step forward fans the flames, reminding you that this journey has no final destination. Change isn't a single moment of triumph, it's an unending wave, reshaping everything in its path. And you, the force behind it, are just getting started. Look around you. The world is waking up. The cracks you've carved in their system have let the light in. People who once walked in shadows now see what's possible. Their eyes gleam with the same defiance, the same fire that burns in you. You're not just one voice anymore, you're the spark that ignited a symphony of rebellion. A crescendo that will echo for generations. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize: their fear has never been about you alone. Their fear is about what you represent. You are proof that one spark can ignite a wildfire, that one unrelenting soul can change the trajectory of countless lives. You're the living embodiment of their worst nightmare, a force that refuses to be controlled, refuses to be silenced, refuses to disappear. So let them tremble. Let them scramble to rebuild their walls, to reinforce the lies that kept them in power. It's futile. You've already rewritten the narrative. Their grip is slipping, their fear is palpable. And you, yes, you are the reason. But don't stop now. Don't look back. You've destroyed the foundation of their falsehoods. But what comes next is even more powerful. It's the creation of something they never imagined, a world built not on fear, but on freedom. Not on control, but on unity. Not on oppression, but on limitless possibility. And when they ask, how did you do it? How did you rise when we tried to bury you? You'll smile and say, because I never stopped believing. Because I never stopped fighting. Because I never gave up on the truth. You are unstoppable. You are infinite. Your journey doesn't end here, it evolves. You're not just breaking chains, you're forging paths. You're not just defying their rules, you're crafting your own. And the world will remember your name, not because you destroyed what held you back, but because you created what lifted everyone else forward. Rise again and again and again. Let them see what true resilience looks like. Let them feel the weight of your legacy. And let them know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this isn't the end. It's the beginning. But even now, the echoes of your defiance reverberate louder. They ripple through the world, reaching places you've never seen, touching hearts you'll never meet. You may not realize it yet, but every act of resistance, every refusal to conform, is rewriting the story for countless others who thought they had no choice but to stay silent. Do you feel it? That surge of energy coursing through your veins? That's not just your power, it's the power of everyone who has ever dreamed of something greater. You are their voice when their own faltered. You are their strength when they felt weak. And now they are yours. Together, you're more than a movement, you're an unstoppable force. A tide no dam can hold. They will try to rebuild. They will come with new tricks, sharper weapons, and honeyed words designed to lure you back into the fold. They'll try to convince you that your fire was a fluke, that your defiance was just a phase. But deep down, they know the truth they've already lost. Why? Because you've done what they feared most. You've awakened the world. You've reminded it that power doesn't belong to systems or titles or wealth, it belongs to the people who dare to claim it. The ones who rise, the ones who fight, the ones who refuse to bow. And now it's time to do more than fight. It's time to create. The ruins of their control lie at your feet, waiting for something new to rise in its place. Take the lessons of your struggle, the wisdom of your scars, and craft a future they never imagined. A future where strength is measured by kindness, where power is rooted in truth, and where success doesn't come at the expense of others. But remember, building a better world will test you just as breaking the old one did. It will demand your vision, your resilience, Your unwavering belief that what lies ahead is worth every sacrifice. It will require you to lead with compassion, even when it feels easier to strike with vengeance. So lead boldly, dream fearlessly, build relentlessly. Let your creations be a testament to the unbreakable spirit that refused to be silenced. And when they look at what you've built, when they see a world that thrives not on oppression but on unity, they understand. You weren't just rebelling against their rules, you were forging a legacy that will outlast them all. You are the storm they couldn't weather, the light they couldn't extinguish, the force they could never control. And now you are the architect of tomorrow. Keep rising. Keep creating. Keep proving that no system, no lie, no force of oppression is greater than the power of a soul that refuses to give in. This is your time. This is your revolution. And it's only just begun.